Hi everyone, my name is Anas Manzoor and I'm a PhD candidate at University of Wyoming. First of all, I would like to thank organizing committee for giving me opportunity to present my research work. I'm going to talk about predictions of vibrational entropy in FCC solid alloys using machine learning. This work has been published in 2020. High entropy alloys consist of multiple principal elements which are placed randomly in a crystal structure as you can see in this cartooning figure. These alloys normally have FCC, BCC, and HCP crystal structures with distorted lattice. Very good mechanical properties have been observed in these alloys, as shown in this bottom figure. The vertical axis is the ductility, and the horizontal axis is the strength. Conventional alloys are lying on this dotted line, showing that there's a trade off between both these properties, meaning when ductility is high, strength is low, and vice versa. Now, large number of high entropy alloys are possible, as you can see in this figure, by changing the chemistry and composition of principal elements. But identifying stable single phase solid solution alloys among all these compositions is a big challenge. Gibbs free energy dictates the phase stability of any alloy. And Gibbs free energy consists of two terms: enthalpy of mixing, delta H mix, and entropy of mixing, which is delta S mix. In this schematic, I am showing the concept of phase stability. The negative Gibbs free energy corresponds to stability of alloy, whereas positive Gibbs free energy leads to instability in the alloy. Now, in ordered alloys, the phase stability is simply dictated by the enthalpy of mixing. The well negative enthalpy of mixing values dominates the Gibbs free energy. So, for example, these are the enthalpy of mixing numbers for the ordered alloys in nickel, aluminum, aluminum, cobalt, nickel, titanium. And you can see that the enthalpy numbers are of the order of 400 MeV and 600 MeV. For this reason, entropy contributions have been ignored in ordered alloys. But when we talk about random alloys, in random alloys, the enthalpy of mixing values are shallow. Shallow meaning they are close to zero, and thus entropy contributions become important. So, for example, in these two random alloys, silver palladium, silver gold, both are solid single phase solid solution alloys. And when we see their enthalpy numbers, they are of the order of 50 MeV. And in these alloys, the entropy numbers at 500 Kelvin are around 25 MeV, almost half of the enthalpy numbers, which makes both these quantities comparable. And thus, for this reason, entropy contributions cannot be ignored in random alloys. In this slide, the left figure shows the XRD pattern of various alloys. Among these alloys, there is one Cantor alloy consists of 5 elements. Cantor alloy is one of the important high entropy alloy, and it is a single phase solid solution alloy. Meaning the Gibbs free energy of Gibbs free energy of this Cantor alloy should be smaller than the Gibbs free energy of its constituent binary alloys, as you can see in this expression. On the right hand side figure, this is the enthalpy values of binary compounds based on these elements. And this dotted box shows the enthalpy values of constituent binary alloys of Cantor alloy. And when we see these numbers, they are shallow. Based on shallow enthalpies, the question arises, what's the role of entropy in these alloys? It might be of similar magnitude. So understanding of entropy contribution is very important. Among all types of entropies, um, the contribution of vibration entropy is not straightforward. It can favors or disfavors the phase stability depending on the material. As you can see in this figure, the vertical axis is the vibration entropy contribution in the total entropy. Positive numbers meaning it's favoring the phase stability, and negative numbers it's disfavoring the phase stability. There are some compounds, some alloys, uh, like these three equiatomic alloys. They are showing the vibration entropy is actually favoring the phase stability, and the contribution is significant. It can be up to 25%. Whereas for these four alloys, the vibration entropy is actually disfavoring the phase stability, and here also the contribution is significant. So the role of vibration entropy is unpredictable. Now, the importance of vibration entropy has been discussed and shown in the literature also. Just for an example, This is from the aluminium scandium phase diagram. And the vertical axis is the showing the solubility temperatures of as a function of atomic percent scandium. The solid data points shows the experimental values, and the lines dotted solid dashed lines are from the DFT calculations. And you can clearly see that with the inclusion of vibration entropy, correct solubility temperatures are predicted, um, which shows that the vibration entropy is very important for the correct predictions of phase stability and solubility temperatures. Now, in the previous slide, we have talked about the importance of vibration entropy in random alloys or in general alloys. The major problem with the vibration entropy is its high computational cost. Due to lack of symmetry in random alloys, one has to perform large number of calculations to get the entropy. So for example, if you want to calculate the entropy of 32 atoms model alloy, you have to perform 192 calculations, which takes roughly 5 days. Now, to find one stable alloy, you have to study a lot of compounds and alloys. As you can see in this phase diagram, to get this lowest energy structure, you have to perform all these calculations, which are shown in this red dots. Now, for vibration entropy in all these alloys to calculate, it requires thousands of calculations, which is a very difficult task. Thus, there is a need to develop a framework or a strategy that can bypass these expensive calculations. So our goal is to develop a framework which can bypass these expensive DFT calculations. And our current status is we have developed a framework for FCC alloys using machine learning. Here's the expression of vibration entropy. And in this expression, omega, which is the phonon frequency, is the only unknown variable. And phonon frequency omega is dependent on two terms. One is K, which is the force constants of the bonds, and M, which is the mass of the bonded atoms. So mass of the atoms are known, and with the computations of force constants of all the bonds, the vibration entropy can be calculated. So we have calculated using DFT the force constants in various alloys. In this figure, the vertical axis is the force constants and horizontal axis is the bond length. And the force constants of nickel-nickel bond in various systems, including pure nickel, 3 binary and 3 ternary systems, are shown in this figure. You can see that some of the bonds, some of the nickel-nickel bonds are shrink and some of the nickel-nickel bonds are actually strain. But the important point to note here is all the force constants follow a curve in all these alloys, which shows that the force constants only dependent on the bond length, and they are not dependent on the chemical environment, chemical composition of the alloy considered. Similarly, in some other cases, for example, copper-copper bond and gold-gold bond, the force constants again follow the same curve. This shows again that the force constants are transferable to different chemical environments, which is a unique observation. Now, similar trends we have observed in the case of AB type bonds also. As you can see in these two type of bonds, one is nickel copper bond and other is palladium platinum bond. The force constants are again follow the same curve. Although these bonds are present in different chemical environments in binary and ternary systems. Similarly, in the case of if we compare the force constants in ordered versus random alloys, again the force constants follow the same curve. As you can see in these two type of bonds, copper gold bond, copper copper bond, and copper gold system, the force constants follow the same curve. It doesn't matter whether they are present in the random alloy or in the L12 ordered alloy. Similar observations have been reported and showed in the literature also. Just for example, this is for aluminium hafnium system, and the force constants of aluminium hafnium follows the same curve, although different compositions are considered in this study. So in general, we have observed that the force constants are transferable to different chemical environments. Transferable force constants gives us advantage to develop the machine learning framework, which is our goal. As we know that the vibration entropy can be predicted from the force constants of all the bonds. So instead of predicting vibrational entropy, we are actually predicting the force constants of the bonds, and from there we will calculate the vibration entropy. So our idea is to make a database of force constants of few elements, and then using machine learning framework predict the force constants of other elements which are for which data is not available. So to test this idea, we first focus on the FCC elements, and our idea is to train our model on these 6 elements and then predict the force constants of rhodium and iridium. So first we identified the descriptors for our model. There are mainly 4 types of descriptors which we use in our model. First is bond length, then the metallic radius of the bonded atoms, atomic mass of the bonded atoms, and the lastly bond type. So for example, nickel-nickel bond or nickel-copper bond. And then we use the different machine learning algorithms to train our model. So for example, Gaussian process regression, GPR, linear regression, support vector machine, SVM model. So these 3 figures show the predictions results of unseen data. So unseen data meaning the predictions of force constants of rhodium and iridium element. These 3 plots are from the different machine learning models, and you can see that the performance of GPR Gaussian process regression model is better compared to other models with RMSE 0.24 and R square 0.94. So we use a GPR model for the predictions of force constants. In this slide, the force constants versus bond length relationship for iridium-iridium, rhodium-rhodium, and iridium-rhodium bond is shown. Now, the important point to note here is the model is trained on these 6 elements, meaning these bonds are not present in the training data. And you can see that the predictions are good. Orange data points are from the DFT and blue triangles are from the machine learning model. And you can see that there is a very good agreement between DFT and machine learning. And the model is also capture the shape of the curve very nicely. Now we also tested our model with some other scenarios also. So for example, force constants of nickel, gold, and copper platinum bonds are also predicted using the machine learning model. And when these bonds are not present in the training data, and here also you can see that the predictions are very accurate. Similarly, we have predicted the force constants of nickel iridium and platinum iridium bonds when these bonds are not present, and also the iridium element is not present, meaning iridium based bonds are not included in the training data. So overall, our model is able to predict the force constants and its performance is quite well. So with this framework, which is based on machine learning, no extra calculations are required for the vibration entropy. Only one calculation is required for the electronic relaxation of the model alloy, which is needed anyway for the calculation of enthalpy of mixing. So first, we relax the structure, and after relaxing the structure, uh, bond types and bond lengths are obtained, and then machine learning is used to predict the force constants, which ultimately gives the vibration entropy of the alloy. So here in this slide, I'm showing the calculations of vibration entropy using machine learning framework. The first example is for rhodium iridium alloy. Vertical axis is the vibration entropy and the horizontal axis is the temperature. And you can see that the framework gives vibration entropy very good across the temperature. The important point note here is rhodium and iridium element is not present in the training data. Another example of copper, gold, palladium, platinum, equiatomic alloy. Here also you can see that there is a good agreement between the framework predicted vibration entropy and DFT across the temperature. And here we do not included copper-based bonds into the training data. Similarly, we have calculated vibration entropy using a framework for various binary and ternary alloys at 500 Kelvin. And here also you can see that there's a good agreement between DFT and ML with R square 0.94 and RMSE 0.021. So overall, our model is able to calculate the vibration entropy for FCC alloys, irrespective of the composition or number of elements. So here I want to conclude my presentation. The force constants are of all types of bonds are transferable to different chemical environments. We have developed machine learning framework to calculate the vibration entropy of FCC alloys without doing any expensive calculations. Just one calculation is required, which is you need anyway for the enthalpy of mixing. So with this framework, vibration entropy can be included in the phase stability, which significantly improves the phase stability predictions. So in the future, our plan is to expand this framework, and we want to include the elements of BCC elements. So we want to predict the vibration entropy of BCC elements also. So thank you all for attending this talk, and now I will take questions.